Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. I'm Jeff.
And I'm Rod. Thanks for joining us this week for your window and door industry updates. If it's your first time joining us, this show has 3 parts. We start with an industry quick hits, where we examine some of the most important window and door stories from the past week.
Then we move into what we like to call the focus story. That's where we break down one of this week's most important industry developments. And then finally, we go into what we call our Growing Your Business segment. And that's where we provide tips, tricks, and solutions for companies in the window and door industry to help you be able to scale your business faster, smarter, and stronger than ever before. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into our first story. So let's go into story number 2. Marvin Windows and Doors are now investing heavily in automation in response to labor shortages. So we know that Marvin is one of the longest serving window and door manufacturers in America. They've been around since 1912, and they were originally founded as a lumber company. But the window and door producer is now a top tier manufacturer, and we recognize them as one of the industry leaders. Well, in response to labor shortages that have popped up in the past 12 to 24 months, we've talked about this on the show previously, Marvin is already in the process of investing heavily in automation to be able to help shore up those shortages that they're experiencing. So in Marvin's recently released 5-year business strategy, the CEO mentioned that automation is a focus for them because it's going to help them reduce redundant or busy work and allow the company to make faster and better decisions. However, they're not giving up on their current human employee base. So their CEO, Paul Marvin, went on to clarify and said, quote, "We're not going to build a factory of robots. That's not appropriate," end quote. But there obviously is a focus here on automation and simplifying processes and trying to use technology and data more to be able to streamline the manufacturing system that they have. So in the past 2 years, Marvin has upped their starting pay to try and keep good quality human workers coming in. And they bumped it between 50 cents and $2 an hour, which is above the overall industry average that we're seeing in the US. So we see a commitment to them wanting to keep a human base. But again, times are moving on and we see automation taking more and more of a role, especially in the manufacturing process. It's going to be interesting if this increases with other manufacturers too, Rod.
Yeah, I think it will. I think that's the trend. I think like human augmented production is what the future is, right? As long as we keep abreast of these technology changes and learn how to adopt them ourselves, I think there's going to be a great advancements in the industry using those two units, right? The human factor and the technology factor.
Yes, I agree.
Awesome. So our third story, total construction starts surged 27% in December, according to Dodge Construction Network data. Towards the end of 2022, total construction starts were beginning to drop heavily, with an 18% decrease in total construction starts in November.
Right.
However, according to data released by Dodge Construction Network, they surged in December, growing 27% month over month.
That's great.
However, construction starts weren't exactly equal across the residential and commercial sectors. In December, non-residential building starts increased a whopping 51%, while residential starts only increased by less than 1%. As the year wrapped up, total non-residential building starts rose 38% over the year compared to 2021, while residential starts were down 3% overall year over year.
So we've talked about this previously. I think this is important, especially for our dealers, to really think about if non-residential is where most of the new constructions are going to be popping up. You have to make sure you're reaching out to those audiences to try and develop those partnerships. It may not be the residential homes where you find the most money this year.
Yep.
We'll have to see. That concludes our first section, those window indoor industry quick hits that we have for you. Now we're going to transition into our focus story. So what we have for you today is we're going to talk specifically about non-residential construction, like we were just going over in our roundup. We want to dive deeper into this. So there is an expectation that there is going to be a slowdown later in the year, according to the American Institute of Architects. So if we were to break these two things down, according to this recent report by the AIA, there is going to be a drop in the non-residential sector this year overall. Chief economist at the AIA, Kermit Baker, predicts that the U.S. economy is going to cause that eventual slowdown because we're facing several challenges. We have the rise in interest rates, we have inflation, and we have poor consumer sentiment when it comes to feeling comfortable about making large purchases. So one of the first signs that the AIA looks for in making these predictions is a construction slowdown that's measured by the Architecture Billings Index is what it's called. And they looked at the fourth quarter of 2022 and they saw that the index fell below the 50% threshold. And that indicates historically that there is going to be a decline in construction billings across the United States. So according to this report, going a little bit more into it, the slowdown isn't expected to return to normal by the end of the year. They predict that it's going to go into 2024, and they're expecting overall growth to be under 1%, which is that's a tough one to swallow. So the AIA is reporting overall that commercial spending in 2023 is going to increase by an estimated 2.6%. But despite that, there's certain project types that we may see a little bit more increasing on, and that's where you need to focus. So think about looking at companies that are focusing on reconstructions, on renovations, on retrofits, building additions in the non-residential sector, and even historic preservation. We see that especially in the Northeast, where we're seeing a real push towards being able to keep historic structures intact, and new windows and doors can be a big, big part of that strategy. So make sure that even though we're noticing that there's going to be a slowdown overall in non-residential construction, it's about where the growth may still be. So focus on those sectors that we just mentioned and build those relationships, and you can hopefully keep your revenue flow at a predictable rate.
Absolutely.
That concludes our focus story for this week.
And now for the final part of our show, growing your business. With the volatility in the window and door industry and labor shortages at hand, there's no better time to lean into technology to fortify and expand your business. One of the smartest ways you can do this is by leveraging a CRM, a customer relationship management platform. A CRM is a tool that you can use right from your computer, collect and store and organize customer data so you can track sales, leads with ease, and manage the relationship once they become a customer in one simple place.
Yep.
So here are just a few reasons why you need to start using a CRM if you want your window and door business to succeed in a technology-driven world. One, a CRM can help you automate sales workflows. It can also help you optimize lead management and qualification processes, and it can help you customize communications with your clients and prospects. These are just a few of the primary reasons why you should depend on a reliable CRM.
Yep.
And if you want to learn more about how you can leverage CRM with your business, check out our free guide that covers 5 reasons why you should adopt a CRM. And remember to read our show notes for free access to this free growth resource.
We built it right for you folks. So to make sure you check that out, it really lays down even why we decide to use a CRM on a daily basis. It just helps keep things moving much more smoothly.
Smoothly, absolutely.
Yes. So folks, as always, thank you for taking time to join us for this edition of Window and Door News this week. Please take a moment, just stop what you're doing right now, even if you want to keep an eye on our beautiful faces. Go check out the links in our notes because we have a weekly Window and Door Pros newsletter where we send out industry quick hits. We send out more educational resources. We create a newsletter just for this industry to help you be able to grow and stay on top of what's going on. So please take a moment and sign up for that. We only send you one a week, and we make sure that we respect that because it's all about being able to help you.
Also, make sure to follow us on social media and check out the links in the notes. Don't stop. Keep growing, everyone. We'll see you next week.